Good morning and welcome back to Visit Fylde Coast and a glorious Thursday morning on Cleveleys Beach. It's digger day, of course, today, so I'm going to go off and have a look and see what they're up to this week because it's all starting to get interesting. So before we go off and have a look at what's happening at Rossall Beach, down there at Cleveleys Beach, and that way straight in front of us. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to hit the little bell for notifications, and don't forget to sign up for your Visit Fylde Coast email newsletter, and then you'll get all the updates and all the information straight into your inbox. If you're a fan of Rossall Beach, you'll know that the sea wall is being worked on currently. So these rocks on our left hand side here have kind of become exposed. This is the toe protection for the concrete at the bottom of the sea wall. And because the grounds are not in place yet, the beach is not stable enough. So a lot of the sand that was over the top of them has washed out. But frankly, I think they look nice like that. I think they look quite interesting. They made a boring beach look more interesting. But that's not what we're looking at, because we're coming to look at the little stand-up wall that they're installing. Because a fortnight ago, I think it was, I showed you that they'd started working and they were cracking on at a pace. Well, they're cracking on at a double pace, I think. And we're going to go and have a look and see what they've done. Just interestingly, on the way past, all this plastic that you can see and the sand that's on the floor, that's what's washed up out of all the rough weather recently. I think I might end up having to turn around and go back here. I thought we could get round at the end. I couldn't quite see. Yeah, I think we're going to have to turn round and go back. Oh, not quite sure what that is or where it's come from. What's that? And here they are. Here's what they're doing. So they're coming up to here, I believe. And they're lifting the concrete units off the back of the lorry. And they then form this new little stand-up wall that they're building at the side here. And I'm not going to be able to go in there and see that properly because I haven't got my PPE on. And I get skinned if I do, but you can see that they're knocking on at a pace. So they're well past the flagpole. But you can also see why they need the promenade closed. Because when they've got all these big lorries coming and workmen and one thing and another, and people trying to turn and work, it's not right practical having us all sitting, eating our sandwiches in the same place. So this concrete trench here, you can see they've put a blinding layer of concrete in the bottom to level it off, and then they're putting the seawall units into it, and they'll grout that all up and leave it all finished and tickety-boo. There is a benefit to this as well, because you'll be able to come and sit on here. I'll try not to fall off the wall when I get off. Be able to come and sit on here with your back up against the new wall unit. So that'll be nice, that, on a nice sunny day. So this is one of the new crossover ramps that they've built, and there's another one just down there. Let's see if we can zoom in and catch it. So they will join the groins up to the sea wall, and then it will hold all of this beach material in place and stop it all from washing away when we get big waves and big winds like we've had in the last couple of weeks. So you notice we've got a few rock piles starting to appear. So they're just stored at the moment. They're not actually the finished thing. So what they're going to do, if you can imagine here, they've stored the rock so that the digger can work from the gap in between. So the digger will sit somewhere here, and he will lift the rocks up and he will position them in this ground that he's going to build that comes that way. So it's going to stick out beyond the end of that ramp, and it's going to join up from the end of the ramp up to the seawall here, up to these rocks, which they've already put in. And in combination, that will stabilise the beach and enable the levels to build up so that we get lots of sand, which of course is the thing that keeps us dry in bad weather. So that's the theory. So that's what they're doing down at this end. So because we've got issues over things like bathing seasons and tourist beaches and nesting birds and holidays and all that kind of stuff, the guys have abandoned pretty much. I think they might still be bringing some rocks out to store on the beach up here, but they've pretty much abandoned doing the concrete works at this end, this kind of stuff here, and they've gone right back down to the other end, to the junction with Blackpool. So they're working down at the other end at the stepped sea defences. So that's where we're going to go next, and we're going to go and have a look and see what they're doing up there. But what a gorgeous morning. After all that wind and whatnot. It's very cold at the moment though. You might have noticed I've got one glove on because I could only find one glove. I've can't seem to find the other one, so I've got one cold hand and one that's a little bit warmer. But lovely and clear, so I'm guessing this afternoon it's going to be warm again. Let's go see what's happening at the other end of the coast. Oh, here's another load of rocks. There is actually some different rock coming. Well, same kind of rock, but smaller pieces. And that's to be used for the piling mats, which are going to be the base for the piling rigs to stand on. You can't actually see properly, can you? For the sun, for the early morning sun, for the piling mats. Looks like we're striking up for some early morning jaws action. So the guys brought the lorry in. You can just see them turning around the back of the loop. You can just see the white top of the cab, I think, right in the middle of the shot. The street sweeper is backing out of the way, and then he's going to unload his load. Yeah, so the smaller rocks are going to be used for a base for the piling rig, which will be coming in the next few weeks, and that's going to be putting the posts in, which mark the ends of the groins. So that'll be an interesting procedure to watch. Beautiful morning, but this is what you might call picking a bad time to come and do a video about sea works when the tide's in. Duh. Brains not with me today, I don't think. Tell you, I never know whether the tide's coming in or going out or what it's doing. She says, carefully getting down the wall. Anyway, yesterday, on the Rossall Beach Buddies Facebook page, somebody had posted a question about the diggers digging somewhere round about here. I'm going to go and just have a look and see if there's anything that we can see. So the answer to the question is that they're building the concrete crossover ramps, which will enable you to walk along the beach while the tide's coming in, once the rock groins have been built. So it was somewhere around about here, but I'm not sure where. I would imagine we'll be able to see a little bit of evidence. You can see that the groin boards have been taken out. So in between there and there were groin boards, and they've taken them out so that the lorries can get up and down. So it might be around this other side. Anyway, well, we're just walking around here and we're enjoying this beautiful early morning view. These groin marker posts. If you're familiar with the other coastal works up at Westway at Rossall, you'll know that there are some really big, really tall steel poles on the ends of certain groins with a little, I think it's a green marker on the end. Oh, it's here. There we go. Found it. with a marker on the end. I'm not sure whether it's green or red now. I've said that, you know. It's one of these things that you look at and got no idea what they are. So not all of them, but some of the groins are going to have a pole at the end, which is a navigation aid, and it marks out where the groin field is, and it marks out where the end of the rocks are. If anybody's in little boats or paddleboarding or anything like that, it's a marker to show you. So they're going to put rocks down on the beach, so that will no doubt involve some excavation. They're going to put rocks down and they're going to stand a piling rig on it, and I would imagine it'll be quite a big piling rig because they're very big piles. And then they're going to knock these great big tubes into the beach, which form the mark for the end of where the rocks are. So it'll be kind of somewhere there-ish. So it's going to look very odd when they're doing it. I can actually just see them from here, to be honest, but you'll notice too far away and slightly hazy. Anyway, so this is what they've been doing yesterday. So the diggers had all been in attendance, building huge sandcastles and digging piles of sand out. So this is the beginning of the growing crossover ramp, which will take shape here. So that is the middle of it, I would have said. And then on either side there's your concrete that slopes down like that and slopes down like that. So they're quite wide. It's all underneath the beach mostly. So there's not a right lot that sticks out above the level of the beach. But it does mean that when there's a line of rocks that way, with a big pole on the end, that when you're walking up and down the beach and the tide's coming in, you'll be able to get over. So it's good safe access. Plus which, we've discovered with the ones that they've already built at Rossall Beach, that it makes a fabulous sunbathing spot. Everybody's been using it while the weather's been nice to sit on and sunbathe and put the deck chairs on and whatnot. So I think that's everything that I need to tell you for today. So you can see from here the shipwreck sculpture. So we're looking on the left-hand side, just at the left of the Norbrek, just about centre screen at the moment. Tall, rusty brown looking thing with a hole in the middle. That's the shipwreck memorial, and this work goes up to there. So they'll be building crossover ramps and groins and putting some poles in all the way up to there, and the idea is that it enables the beach to build up. So where you've got natural beach build up at the moment here, it will encourage that, which is what prevents overtopping, erosion, flooding and all those nasty things that we don't want to end up with in Cleveleys. If you've got any questions, don't forget I'm in the venue on a Thursday morning from 9 till 12. If I'm not there early on, it's because I'm out making videos, but just hang about or ask Hannah to give me a ring and I'll be back in not many minutes. So I'm there on a Thursday morning. I've got plans, I've got drawings, I've got all the information, everything you could possibly wish to know. So pop in and have a chat. Very interesting. Very interesting it is. And from a beautiful morning on Cleveleys Beach, I think that's all I've got to tell you. So that's it for today. Until next time, bye for now.